Hello everyone and welcome to my General Hospital Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Aiden McCoy of General Hospital shares Jocelyn's 1,000,000% differing opinion of Sunny. According to General Hospital spoilers, Jocelyn Jack's decision to shoot Cyrus Renault marked a significant turning point in her life. Jocelyn's life was drastically transformed by that incident, and it undoubtedly altered her opinion of her ex-stepfather, Sonny Corinthos. Aiden McCoy discussed the twist that undoubtedly had people talking on social media. In an interview with SOD, when Jocelyn killed Cyrus, many viewers were taken aback, but McCoy had been keeping the secret for months. At the same time that I learned that Jocelyn would be murdering Cyrus, I also learned that Dex, Joss's romantic interest, was being eliminated. Thus, I've been aware for a very long time, McCoy said. Jocelyn was devastated by the loss of Dex Heller, but McCoy had already dealt with the loss of Oscar Nero Quartermain, so that didn't present much of a hardship. McCoy liked playing a completely different kind of grief because he knew where this whole Cyrus issue was headed. It inspired Jocelyn to create this action-packed story, since she wasn't satisfied with just sitting and moping in her misery. McCoy said that she felt incredibly honored to be the one in the program who put an end to Cyrus' threat on Port Charles. Nevertheless, because Jeff Kober was such a pleasure to work with, Aiden McCoy found it difficult to see him go. Jocelyn's world will still be shaped by her choice to remove Cyrus, though. The cabin cleanup and all of the WSB turmoil are already drawing Jocelyn closer to Jack Brennan. Jocelyn's audacious action will also influence how she perceives Sunny in the future. Joss is happy since she was so tired of the hypocrisy for her character, according to McCoy, who maintained that it alters her opinion of Sunny 1,000,000%. Stay tuned for updates on Jocelyn's upcoming chapter, as our GH predictions suggest that she will also be adjusting her perspective in other ways. According to General Hospital spoilers, Jocelyn will encounter more startling information and difficult situations as she pursues this dangerous course. In order to maintain Sunny's illicit empire in Port Charles, will Laura negotiate a deal with him? According to General Hospital spoilers, Mayor Laura Collins might become a target. There is a catch to Jen Sidwell's offer to finance the Esplanade project that Jordan Ashford and Drew Quartermain have proposed. Sidwell is a wealthy and dangerous player. Sidwell wants it constructed at the piers, where Sonny Corinthos conducts his illicit import company. In order to stop Jen's and Drew's attempt to seize power, would Laura compromise her morals and work with Sunny to keep the imports coming in? General Hospital spoilers. The stakes are raised by Sidwell's offer. Sidwell's plan is a power maneuver rather than merely a civic enhancement. He would establish himself in Port Charles by financing the Piers Esplanade, bringing him and Drew dangerously close to taking over the city's underbelly. Laura recognizes the danger and is already leery of Drew's political aspirations and Sidwell's vicious reputation. However, Jordan has supported the idea, so rejecting the contract outright might make him angry and leave the city open to Sidwell's influence. Because of the Piers' proximity to Sunny's activities, Laura is compelled to think about making a deal with the mafia she has been attempting to control for the past few years. According to GH spoilers, Sunny has a part to play. Long an open secret in Port Chuck, Sunny's import trade through the docks is now Laura's problem. Unless Laura strikes a bargain to maintain the current quo, Sidwell's proposal would cause Sunny's business to suffer. In exchange for his strength against Sidwell, Sunny might pressure Laura to defend his empire at a heated sit-down. Laura must make the heartbreaking decision to either allow the imports to continue in order to stay control or run the risk of Sidwell and Drew taking over. She might be persuaded by Sunny's charisma and their shared family history, but siding with him could cost her the respect of allies like Jordan as well as her own conscience. General Hospital spoilers. There's more at risk than just Laura's image. Although Laura has never given up easily, this might be her lowest point. She would be complicit in Sunny's business if she approves the Esplanade at the docks and does a deal with him. This is a far cry from the moral leader she has aimed to be. Drew would double down on Sidwell if he senses her hesitancy, and Jordan might feel deceived by any hint of corruption. Time is running short, even though people like Anna Devane and Kevin Collins would advise her to take a different route. Tracy and Martin fight, Lucky's near-death experience, and Sunny won't be beaten. Charlie's Pub was the main attraction in Port Charles today, according to General Hospital spoilers for the Thursday, February 27th episode. Here is a summary of today's episode in case you missed it. Felicia Scorpio and Elizabeth Baldwin get together. Elizabeth Baldwin is finishing up her shift at the hospital when Felicia Scorpio runs into her. Liz tells Felicia that she has 3 children to support, which makes her a little shocked to see her working so soon after Cyrus attempted to kill her. They discuss Lucky Spencer and the progress of his recuperation. Felicia informs Liz that it's clear that Aiden Weber isn't the only one who is relieved that he will be all right for the sake of their son. Following the events of the past few months, both acknowledge that they are unsure if Lucky will decide to remain in Port Charles. When Lucky eventually awakens, Lulu Spencer is by her brother's bedside. Liz, who she goes to fetch, kisses Lucky as soon as she sees him. Later, she and Lucky decide they have a lot to discuss. Harrison Chase's proposal is ineffective. Harrison Chase has proposed that his brother serve as their sperm donor. Brooke Lynn Quartermain tells her mother, Lois Cerullo, across town. After telling her mother that she didn't like the suggestion, BLQ hurried to the gym. It becomes evident from their conversation that she will never feel at ease bearing Chase's brother's child. She worries that rather than bringing the family closer together, a decision like that would really drive them apart because there is simply too much to take into account. Chase encounters Dante Falconeri in the gym. While telling him about proposing that his brother provide sperm, Chase makes good use of the punching bag. Chase comes to the conclusion that it's probably not a smart idea at all the more he discusses it. According to Trina Robinson at Charlie's Pub, her Aunt Trina Robinson runs with Aunt Stella Henry, who tells her everything about the painting class she did with Kai Taylor, which undoubtedly ended up becoming a date. The kiss at the end of it. Stella considers youthful romance and is sincerely pleased to see Trina content. Jen Sidwell informs Lucy Coe that he has a secret reason for meeting her when they meet at a neighboring table. In order to purchase his waterfront property, he wants Lucy to approach Sonny Corinthos on his behalf. Carly Spencer sees Jens at the next table while she and Jack Brennan are in the pub getting drinks. Eventually, she approaches Jens in private and informs him that she can clearly see him. Jack breaks in to ask Carly to get him another drink so he may spend some time with Sidwell alone. After introducing himself, Jack threatens to blow Carly away and complete the work he began in Africa if he ever bothers him again. Jens looks uncomfortable and goes back to the table where Lucy is sitting. She quickly informs him that she will not be approaching Sonny to accept his offer. Trina pauses before leaving Charlie's to discuss with Carly the last-minute text message they both received from Jocelyn Jacks about their trip to Easter Island. Jack watches with a broad smile, and both are thrilled for her, including Sonny Corinthos in the loop. Sonny joins Laura Collins, Curtis Ashford, and Jordan Ashford at their office. They inform him that Sidwell and Drew Quartermain have joined forces to attempt to use eminent domain to seize his beachfront property. They claim they agree that the original location, not his property, is the greatest place for the Esplanade, and Sonny assures them he won't roll over and play dead. Their intention is to resist Drew's plan as much as they can. Laura receives a call in the middle of their conversation informing her that Lucky is awake, and Sonny offers to take her to the hospital. Curtis tells Jordan about his strategy to get Congressman Henderson to block Drew from the inside once they depart. Jordan is also hopeful that Sidwell will give her some information. Martin Gray and Tracy Quartermain's argument. Due to the document she filed to prevent Drew Quartermain from claiming the family last name, Tracy Quartermain anticipates a falling out with Martin Gray. After a little teasing, he demonstrates his might to her. As it happens, the Quartermains are buried in the 20 feet of additional ground that the family estate is constructed on but do not actually own. Martin threatens to take a shovel outside and begin unearthing bodies the following morning unless Tracy drops her petition. Martin's bluff is called when Tracy digs in and declines. Lulu interrupts their conversation to inquire whether he has discovered anything that could assist her in finding her daughter. Martin claims not to have, but he leaves quickly and is obviously jangled. The near-death experience of Lucky Spencer. Finally, Laura, who is overjoyed that Lucky is awake, appears by his bedside. He informs her that it is true that you still require your mother regardless of your age. He claimed that a feeling of calm overcame him as soon as she entered the room. Outside of Lucky's room, Laura and Liz talk about whether or not he will remain after everything that has happened. Lucky informs Sunny that he thought he was dying, and that he heard his father's voice during their brief conversation. It wasn't in his mind, but it would have been if he were there to inform him that it wasn't yet his time. Even though Jocelyn Jacks is somewhat of a wild card, it's safe to assume that she never would have imagined herself in her current situation. In search of evidence connecting Cyrus Renaud to the death of Dex Heller, she went to his cabin. When Cyrus caught her in the act, she discovered evidence and much more. Joss fired 2 rounds into Cyrus's chest after he approached her brandishing a hatchet, and Cyrus instantly died. Jack Brennan of the WSB would not be regarded as a credible witness on the stand because he had heard the entire incident from outside the cabin. Joss accepted his offer to clean up the mess for her, but there is a cost, of course. Brennan believes that Joss would be an excellent WSB agent. At first, Jack took Joss back to the WSB's headquarters, so she could take a shower and get rid of whatever she could have had that would have connected her to Cyrus's murder. After cleaning her up, Jack listed all the qualities that would make Joss an excellent WSB agent. Her instincts are spot on, and she performs her duties under duress without hesitation. Joss rejected off his immediate employment offer since she was still in disbelief over what had happened that evening. Jason was falsely accused of killing Cyrus by the WSB. Joss rushes to Jack in the hopes that he will aid after learning that Jason Morgan has been arrested for the murder of Cyrus. Instead, he informed her that the police would require a suspect other than Joss, so they had planted Jason's DNA at the cabin to link him. He assures her that the PCPD won't have a case against Jason, since they will never locate a body. He encourages Joss to join them once more after she tentatively believes him. She hesitates a little when Jack asks if she is prepared to defend and serve her town. Joss is aware that the WSB has Cyrus's body somewhere, and she will be held accountable for his passing if it is discovered. Jocelyn's selection. Is there really anything Joss can do now? They can use her freedom after killing Cyrus as leverage to force her to join the WSB, or she can voluntarily join. The notion that Jocelyn will have a decision of her own is starting to seem like a pipe dream. In your opinion, what will she do next? Aiden McCoy reveals Jocelyn's 1,000,000% different view of Sunny, a deep dive into General Hospital's shifting dynamics. General Hospital, the long-running ABC soap opera, has always been a masterclass in character development and intricate storytelling. One of the show's most compelling aspects is its ability to evolve characters over time, allowing them to grow, change, and adapt to the ever-shifting landscape of Port Charles. Recently, Aiden McCoy, who plays Jocelyn Jacks, opened up about her character's drastically altered perspective on Sunny Corinthos, one of the show's most iconic figures. McCoy described Jocelyn's view of Sunny as 1,000,000% different from what it once was, a statement that has significant implications for the show's narrative and character dynamics. To fully understand the weight of this revelation, it's essential to examine the history between Jocelyn and Sunny, the events that have shaped their relationship, and how this shift reflects broader themes within General Hospital. This exploration will delve into Jocelyn's character arc, Sunny's role in her life, and the ripple effects this changed perspective may have on the show's future. Jocelyn Jacks, a character in transition. Jocelyn Jacks, the daughter of Carly Corinthos and the late Jax Jacks, has grown up on screen, transitioning from a precocious child to a young woman navigating the complexities of adulthood. As the product of 2 strong-willed parents, Jocelyn has inherited Carly's fiery determination and Jax's moral compass, making her a fascinating blend of idealism and pragmatism. Over the years, viewers have watched Jocelyn grapple with family drama, romantic entanglements, and personal tragedies, all of which have shaped her into the resilient and multifaceted character she is today. One of the most significant influences on Jocelyn's life has been Sunny Corinthos, her stepfather and a central figure in Port Charles. For much of her life, Jocelyn viewed Sunny as a father figure, someone who provided stability and love in the absence of her biological father, Jax. Sunny's relationship with Carly, Jocelyn's mother, further solidified his role in her life, creating a familial bond that seemed unbreakable. However, as Jocelyn has matured, her perspective on Sunny has begun to shift, a change that Aiden McCoy has described as 1,000,000% different. The evolution of Jocelyn and Sunny's relationship. To understand Jocelyn's changed view of Sunny, it's important to revisit the key moments that have defined their relationship. When Jocelyn was younger, Sunny was a constant presence in her life, stepping in as a father figure during Jax's frequent absences. Sunny's love for Carly and his commitment to their blended family created a sense of security for Jocelyn, who often looked to him for guidance and support. However, as Jocelyn grew older, she began to see Sunny in a more nuanced light. The complexities of Sunny's life, his involvement in organized crime, his tumultuous relationships, and his moral ambiguities, started to weigh on Jocelyn's perception of him. While she once saw him as a hero, she now recognizes the flaws and contradictions that define him. This shift in perspective has been gradual but profound, culminating in what Aiden McCoy describes as a 1,000,000% different view of Sunny. The catalysts for change. Several key events have contributed to Jocelyn's evolving perspective on Sunny. One of the most significant was Sunny's disappearance and presumed death, which left Jocelyn and her family reeling. During this time, Jocelyn had to confront the reality of Sunny's life and the dangers that came with it. His absence forced her to reflect on the impact he had on their family and the sacrifices they made to accommodate his lifestyle. Another major turning point was Sunny's return to Port Charles and his subsequent struggle with amnesia. During this period, Sunny lived as Mike in Nixon Falls, unaware of his past and the lives he had left behind. This storyline allowed Jocelyn to see Sunny in a new light, free from the baggage of his previous life. However, it also highlighted the stark contrast between the man Sunny was and the man he could have been. For Jocelyn, this was a moment of reckoning, as she began to question whether the Sunny she knew was truly the man she wanted in her life. Additionally, Jocelyn's own experiences have played a role in shaping her view of Sunny. As she has grown older, she has become more aware of the consequences of Sunny's actions, not just for their family but for the entire community. Her relationships with other characters, such as her best friend Trina Robinson and her boyfriend Cameron Weber, have also influenced her perspective, as they have provided her with alternative examples of strength, integrity, and morality. The broader implications for General Hospital. Jocelyn's changed view of Sunny is not just a personal revelation. It has broader implications for the show's narrative and character dynamics. Sunny Corinthos has long been a central figure in General Hospital, and his relationships with other characters have driven much of the show's drama. Jocelyn's shift in perspective challenges the status quo, forcing other characters to reevaluate their own relationships with Sunny and the role he plays in their lives. For Carly, Jocelyn's mother, this change is particularly significant. Carly has always been fiercely protective of Sunny, often defending him against criticism and standing by him through thick and thin. Jocelyn's newfound skepticism of Sunny creates tension between mother and daughter, as Carly struggles to reconcile her loyalty to Sunny with her desire to support Jocelyn. This conflict adds a new layer of complexity to their relationship, providing rich material for future storylines. Similarly, Jocelyn's changed perspective impacts her relationships with other members of the Corinthos family, including Michael and Willow. As Jocelyn begins to question Sunny's actions and their consequences, she may find herself at odds with those who continue to support him. This tension could lead to deeper exploration of family loyalty, morality, and the lengths to which people will go to protect those they love. Aiden McCoy's portrayal of Jocelyn's evolution. Aiden McCoy's portrayal of Jocelyn's evolving perspective on Sunny has been a masterclass in subtlety and nuance. As an actress, McCoy has skillfully navigated the complexities of Jocelyn's character, capturing the internal conflict and emotional depth that define her journey. Her ability to convey Jocelyn's shifting feelings toward Sunny, from admiration to doubt, from love to disillusionment, has been a highlight of her performance, earning her praise from fans and critics alike. McCoy's revelation that Jocelyn's view of Sunny is 1,000,000% different speaks to the depth of her understanding of the character and her commitment to portraying Jocelyn's growth authentically. This shift is not just a plot point. It's a reflection of Jocelyn's maturation and her increasing awareness of the world around her. Through McCoy's performance, viewers are able to see Jocelyn as a fully realized character, one who is grappling with the complexities of adulthood and the challenges of navigating a morally ambiguous world. Will Laura broker a deal with Sunny to keep his illegal empire in Port Charles? Port Charles, a town steeped in drama, intrigue, and moral ambiguity, has long been a battleground for power struggles, alliances, and betrayals. At the heart of many of these conflicts is Sunny Corinthos, a charismatic and complex figure who has built an empire rooted in both legitimate business ventures and illicit activities. Sonny's presence in Port Charles has been a double-edged sword. While his criminal enterprises have brought violence and instability, his influence and resources have also played a role in shaping the town's economy and even protecting some of its residents. On the other side of the moral spectrum is Laura Collins, a respected figure known for her integrity, compassion, and commitment to justice. Laura has often found herself at odds with Sonny's methods, but she is also pragmatic and understands the delicate balance of power in Port Charles. The question now arises: could Laura broker a deal with Sonny to keep his illegal empire in Port Charles? To answer this, we must examine the motivations, consequences, and ethical dilemmas that such a decision would entail. The dynamics between Laura and Sonny. Laura and Sonny's relationship is one of mutual respect tinged with conflict. While they have often found themselves on opposite sides of the law, they share a deep connection to Port Charles and its people. Laura, as a former mayor and a longtime advocate for the town's well-being, has always prioritized the safety and prosperity of its residents. Sonny, on the other hand, operates in a morally gray area, using his power and resources to protect those he cares about while engaging in activities that often undermine the very stability Laura seeks to uphold. Despite their differences, Laura and Sonny have occasionally worked together when their goals aligned. For instance, they have collaborated to take down common enemies, or to protect vulnerable members of the community. These moments of cooperation suggest that Laura is not entirely opposed to engaging with Sonny, provided that the end result serves a greater good. However, brokering a deal to allow Sonny's illegal empire to remain in Port Charles would require Laura to compromise her principles in ways she has rarely done before. The moral dilemma. For Laura, the decision to broker a deal with Sonny would be fraught with moral complexity. On one hand, she is acutely aware of the harm caused by Sonny's criminal activities, including violence, corruption, and the exploitation of vulnerable individuals. Allowing his empire to remain intact would mean tacitly endorsing these actions, which goes against everything Laura stands for. It would also set a dangerous precedent, signaling that those with enough power and influence can operate above the law. On the other hand, Laura is a pragmatist who understands the realities of power in Port Charles. Sonny's empire is deeply entrenched, and attempting to dismantle it could lead to chaos and unintended consequences. His absence or downfall could create a power vacuum, potentially allowing even more dangerous individuals to rise to prominence. Moreover, Sonny's legitimate businesses provide jobs and economic stability for many in the town, and his influence has occasionally been used to protect innocent lives. Laura may reason that maintaining a fragile peace with Sonny is preferable to risking widespread upheaval. The potential deal. If Laura were to broker a deal with Sonny, it would likely involve a series of compromises designed to mitigate the negative impact of his illegal activities while preserving the stability of Port Charles. For example, Laura might negotiate for Sonny to scale back his most harmful operations, such as drug trafficking or arms dealing, in exchange for her support or protection. She could also push for greater transparency in his legitimate businesses, ensuring that they adhere to ethical standards and contribute positively to the community. Another possibility is that Laura could leverage her influence to redirect Sonny's resources toward more constructive endeavors. For instance, she might encourage him to invest in community programs, infrastructure projects, or initiatives aimed at addressing social issues like addiction and poverty. By aligning Sonny's interests with the well-being of Port Charles, Laura could potentially transform his empire into a force for good, or at least reduce its capacity for harm. The consequences for Port Charles. The implications of such a deal would be far-reaching and multifaceted. On a positive note, it could bring a measure of stability to Port Charles, preventing the kind of violent power struggles that often accompany shifts in the criminal underworld. It might also allow Laura to exert some degree of control over Sonny's activities, ensuring that they are less harmful to the community. Additionally, the deal could open the door for greater collaboration between Sonny and other influential figures in the town, fostering a more unified approach to addressing its challenges. However, there are also significant risks involved. By legitimizing Sonny's presence in Port Charles, Laura could inadvertently embolden him and other criminals, sending the message that illegal activities will be tolerated, as long as they are accompanied by a veneer of respectability. This could erode public trust in Laura and other leaders, undermining their ability to govern effectively. Furthermore, the deal could alienate Laura from her allies, particularly those who view Sunny as an irredeemable threat to the town's safety and integrity. The personal toll. For Laura, brokering a deal with Sunny would not only be a political and ethical challenge, but also a deeply personal one. She would have to grapple with the knowledge that she is compromising her values for the sake of pragmatism, a decision that could weigh heavily on her conscience. It might also strain her relationships with friends and family members who disapprove of Sunny and his actions. Laura's son, Nicholas Cassadine, for example, has a complicated history with Sunny and might view such a deal as a betrayal. On Sunny's side, the deal would require him to make concessions that could weaken his position or limit his freedom of action. While he might appreciate the stability and legitimacy that Laura's support could bring, he is unlikely to surrender control easily. Sunny is a man who values his independence and is accustomed to operating on his own terms. Any agreement with Laura would need to strike a delicate balance between cooperation and autonomy, a task that could prove challenging given their differing priorities. The broader implications. Beyond the immediate impact on Port Charles, a deal between Laura and Sunny could have broader implications for the town's future. It could set the stage for a new era of governance, one in which the lines between law and crime are blurred and power is wielded through a combination of influence, negotiation, and compromise. This shift could lead to a more nuanced understanding of justice, recognizing that the world is not always black and white, and that sometimes, difficult choices must be made in the interest of the greater good. At the same time, it could also pave the way for further corruption and moral decay, as the boundaries between right and wrong become increasingly indistinct. The deal might inspire other criminals to seek similar arrangements, leading to a normalization of illegal activities and an erosion of the rule of law. Lucky's near-death experience. Tracy and Martin clash. Sunny won't be beaten. The drama in Port Charles never ceases, and this time, 3 major storylines are captivating General Hospital fans. Lucky Spencer finds himself at the edge of death, forcing him to confront his past and rethink his future. Meanwhile, Tracy Quartermain and Martin Gray engage in a fierce battle of wits, with both determined to get the upper hand. And as always, Sunny Corinthos refuses to back down, proving once again why he remains one of Port Charles's most formidable figures. Lucky's near-death experience. Lucky Spencer has always been a character defined by struggle, redemption, and resilience. But nothing could prepare him for the life-threatening ordeal he faces now. While working undercover on a dangerous case, Lucky finds himself in the crosshairs of a powerful crime syndicate. The situation escalates quickly, leading to a brutal confrontation that leaves Lucky gravely injured. Bleeding out and barely conscious, he has a series of flashbacks to his past, his turbulent relationship with Elizabeth Weber, his struggles with addiction, and his complicated family history. As Lucky fights for survival, loved ones rally around him. Elizabeth is by his bedside, torn between her lingering love for him and the pain of their past. Laura Spencer, his devoted mother, refuses to leave his side, pleading with him to pull through. Even Nicholas Cassadine, despite their strained relationship, shows up, hinting at the possibility of reconciliation. Lucky's brush with death forces him to reevaluate his life choices. When he finally regains consciousness, he realizes he no longer wants to live in the shadows. He contemplates returning to Port Charles permanently, ready to rebuild bridges and redefine his purpose. But with the crime syndicate still posing a threat, will Lucky ever truly be safe? Tracy and Martin clash. Tracy Quartermain is no stranger to power plays, and her latest adversary, Martin Gray, proves to be a worthy opponent. Their conflict stems from ELQ, as Tracy accuses Martin of manipulating legal loopholes to interfere in Quartermain affairs. Martin, ever the smooth talker, insists that he is merely following ethical business practices, but Tracy sees through his charm. The tension between them reaches new heights when Tracy orchestrates a legal maneuver to outsmart Martin, only for him to counter with a bold move of his own. As the two trade blows, both in and out of the courtroom, their verbal sparring ignites a deeper rivalry. Adding fuel to the fire, Lucy Coe finds herself caught in the middle. Martin's relationship with Lucy complicates matters, as Tracy accuses Lucy of influencing Martin's decisions. This only intensifies Tracy's resolve to bring Martin down, but he remains just as determined to defend his stance. Will Tracy's relentless pursuit of control ultimately push Martin into a corner? Or will Martin find a way to outmaneuver her once and for all? One thing is certain. Neither is backing down anytime soon. Sonny won't be beaten. Sonny Corinthos has faced numerous challenges over the years, but his latest battle might be one of his toughest yet. With a rival organization attempting to dismantle his empire, Sonny finds himself fighting not just for his business, but for his family's safety. His enemies have become bolder, attacking his operations and targeting those closest to him. Carly Corinthos and Jason Morgan warn Sonny that this war isn't like the others. His adversaries are more ruthless, unpredictable, and willing to go to extreme lengths. Despite the mounting pressure, Sonny refuses to back down. He strategically counters every move his enemies make, proving that his reign over Port Charles is far from over. However, when a close ally betrays him, Sonny is forced to question everything. The betrayal shakes him to his core, but instead of retreating, he doubles down on his efforts to emerge victorious. With danger closing in, Sonny knows he must be smarter than ever. He reaches out to unexpected allies, forming new alliances that could change the game entirely. As tensions rise and the stakes become deadlier, one thing remains clear. Sonny Corinthos won't be beaten. Conclusion. With Lucky Spencer fighting for his life, Tracy and Martin engaging in a high-stakes power struggle, and Sonny refusing to let his enemies take him down, General Hospital continues to deliver edge-of-your-seat drama. As these storylines unfold, fans can expect shocking twists, emotional revelations, and plenty of action. One thing is for sure, Port Charles will never be the same again.